Hello, my dear students. Today, for certain circumstances, I'm not present. I know, it's a sad moment. However, there are a lot of things to do, so stay tuned and let's try to complete each activity that is described in this video. But before that, let's roll the intro, shall we? Well, everybody, as you can see, this was our last activity that we were able to basically try to develop. Now, let's try to focus on a couple things that we're going to try to complete during this time. So, pay close attention to this, well, interesting video. Let's start off. As you can see, this is on page 22 and page 23. Our last topic was basically we're trying to complete grammar practice on page 98. Now, because of time, we weren't able to complete every single one of these, which are basically these two. We already went through the explanation of each one of the grammar practice or grammar aspects. So your first task is to complete this section that you have here, and thus completing this second part as well. Please remember to include the date, and in case you don't have enough space depending on the instructions, you know what to do. Transfer it to your notebook, writing the page, the title, then the number of the activity. Alright? Now, let's go on and let's head back to page 23. You can pause the video right here if you are going to start working on this part. In the meantime, if you already finished this activity, now we're going to be able to advance to this next part. And it's a pronunciation activity. Yes, that's right. This time, I'm going to try to hear you guys. Yes, I know. How am I going to be able to hear you? Well, I'll tell you just at the end. First, I want you to listen and notice how the speakers say the expressions had and been in the past perfect continuous. So, pay close attention to the speakers. Let's roll the audio.
3.5. 1. Tim and Jan have been traveling for hours. 2.
The shopkeeper thought Tom had been stealing.
3. It looked as though the neighbors had been decorating their house. 4.
I didn't know that our sales manager had been working abroad.
5.
I told her that everyone had been listening to her conversation.
6.
It was obvious that Carl had been practicing his speech.
Well, if you noticed, basically on this aspect, here you are supposed to try to do your best in pronunciating exactly how the speakers mentioned those two words from previous occasion that I indicated. Now, if you want to repeat this, you're going to have to go back and repeat this video or this small segment in order for you to continue and practice. Now, this involves a small homework. You are supposed to take time during this class or the next period in order to develop a small video and thus recording yourself on the video and uploading it to the Portal Educativo platform. By this time, while you're watching this video, there's already a homework assigned where you have to upload this video, where you're going to be reading each one of these sentences and trying your best, your very best, to pronunciate these aspects. All right? So, if you would like to do that right now, pause the video and start working. All right. Let's carry on, shall we? Our next task is basically focused on number 7. Here, as you can see, let me zoom in, you have to choose the correct options to complete the text about an important object. Here, as you can already imagine, you have to read through it and choose the appropriate aspect. So, please go ahead and just to provide a little bit, I need you to complete this task, and in its time you will be basically taking a picture of this task being completed, don't forget the date, and placing it in the Portal Educativo platform. Alright? So if you're going to work on this, pause the video and start it. Now, if you're done with that, there's one final task that you guys are going to be doing related to this topic. Pardon me. Now, here's something that you're going to do. Think of 3 objects, 3 important objects from your life, or the life of someone in your family. And here I want you to share and talk about these, the history of the objects and the memories they hold within another video. So you're going to create another video talking about these 3 important objects. This video should contain at least, pay close attention based on your level and your capability, at least among minimum 3 minutes, maximum 8 minutes. Alright, so please pause the video if you need to and start working. Well, most probably at this point, you've been able to listen to all of the indications, or probably already have been able to complete each and every single one of them. Now, there's an additional activity also ready for you guys, and as you can imagine, this time you're going to be traveling all the way to your workbook. This one is on page 14. On page 14, you would need to basically practice and complete each one of these. I do want to highlight something very important. Pardon me. You're going to be reading the sentences out loud, paying particular attention to the pronunciation of had and been in the past perfect continuous. So I'll place the audio on this so you can have a way to practice it. All right, here you go. Listen carefully to the audio.
3.1. 1. I could tell that Mike and Sue had been arguing. 2.
Marcus had been expecting a pay raise.
3. We wondered if David had been waiting for us. 4.
We discovered that Nat had been lying to us.
5. I think his grandparents have been living abroad. 6.
Well, there you have it, guys. And yes, believe it or not, you're gonna create another video. Me and the videos. What's going on? It's so virtual now. Of course. Please try to do your best and record yourself repeating these sentences, doing your best in pronunciation. All right? So by all means, get ready, get set, and go. You can pause the video and start working on this as well after you're done with the other activities within the workbook. So, to summarize and to go over the different things that we've just mentioned, remember, let's rewind. 1, you need to complete these activities from your workbook. You have to create a video from the pronunciation. You can repeat the audio played earlier. Now let's go a little bit back to page 22 just to review what you have to do. You must complete grammar practice. You must also create a video about your pronunciation on this section that we have here. Complete this task by choosing the correct option and creating a last video about these aspects. So, it's going to be a very intense day, but you're going to have to try to complete that during that time frame. So by all means, start working. I wish you the best. I'll be checking pretty much most of these activities during the rest of the weekend. But of course, don't worry. I'll see you on the best day, which is on Friday. So God bless every single one of you, and I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye. Take care now.